Okay. Hello, everyone who's joined us for the role of guidance and student services in high schools. My name is Ramsey Shuck. My pronouns are he, him, and I am a guidance teacher in the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board. I'm going to wait one more minute maybe just to see if more participants need a couple extra moments to join. Again, welcome to everyone who has joined this session. I'm going to wait a few more moments to join before we begin, sorry, because I see that there are a number of people who are joining as I speak. So I'm going to give them a few more moments to join before I start. Okay. Well, we'll get going then. So my name is Ramsey Shuck. I am a teacher with the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board. I am a guidance teacher and I work at the school board office. Prior to that, I was the head of guidance and student services at Lisgar Collegiate Institute, one of the high schools in our school board. And thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. I wanted to go over some of the things that students should know who are new to high school about what the guidance teacher role is in high school and what the student services office and area in your high school is. I'm going to share a few bits of information. This session is going to run from 7:20 until 7:35, and then you'll have 5 minutes to go to your next session, which will start at 7:40. This session is going to be repeated 4 consecutive times this evening, and you can find the complete agenda on the homepage of the All About High School page, and you can see all of the workshops there. So what is guidance and who is in your school's student services office? So each of our high schools has what's called a student services office, and it is the place that students can go if they have any kind of question that they either A, don't know who to ask, or maybe they've asked the question to someone in the school, like one of their teachers, and their teacher doesn't know the answer and is directing them there. Basically, if you have any questions, go to your school's student services office. And in the student services office, you'll find a bunch of different people working there. There will be guidance teachers like me. There may be a cooperative education teacher who helps students who are on co-op placements. You'll find student success teachers who are there to support you if you need any extra help in your courses that you're taking at high school. You'll find the learning support teachers, and the learning support teachers are the special education experts at your school. They're the ones who look after your IEP at a school. They're the ones who can provide any kind of spec ed extra support. You'll also find multicultural liaison officers, or MLOs. MLOs, or multicultural liaison officers, are the talented folks in our communities who maybe speak many different languages, and they are there to support you and parents and guardians if you need maybe someone to help translate or be there as an intermediary so that you can fully be part of what's going on at your school or your child's school if you're a parent or guardian. You're also going to find learning support services staff in your high school student services office. Those are the staff such as our school board psychologist, our school board social workers, our school board youth workers, and they are there to support students who are maybe in need of a very particular services that have been determined by your school's entire team, principal, guidance, vice principal, where they have referred for extra help that your child is in need of. So these are all the people you might see in your school student services office. Regardless of their roles, their job is to help you, anyone who comes in, to help you answer questions, and if they don't know the answer, to guide you to where you can get the answer from. So roles of your guidance teacher. So your guidance teacher will help you with almost anything at school. The main thing that they help with is helping you to pick your classes or the subjects that you will be taking in high school, and not just picking classes here and there, but helping to support you on your path to getting to graduation. And not just graduation, but helping you to launch into your next step after high school. We call this planning your pathway. So, planning the path that you are walking on in high school and helping you to get to where you want to go. So your guidance teacher's job, as well as every other teacher's job in your high school, is to help you keep as many doors open as possible to help you get to where you want to go. So that is the big role that they do. They support you as students, but they're also there to support your parents or guardians if you're under 18 years old. So sometimes as a student, you might have been in school this whole time, maybe in Ottawa, maybe from a different province, different country, and there's a lot to know. There's a lot to learn. So your guidance teacher is there to help you figure out what your goals are or to learn what your goals are, and then to help figure out how they can support you with courses that you might want to take or might need for something in the future, and offering you suggestions, tips, things that you might want to know or be aware of so that you can make the best possible decision for getting to graduation. Their job isn't to make the decisions for you. Their job isn't to tell you that, hey, you would be a really good teacher in the future. So this is what you need to do to become a teacher. Their job is to ask you what you want to do and then to support you by getting you the information you need to get to where you want to go. Another big part of that is helping you to build your school timetable. So they are there to help you. Maybe you picked some courses or classes that you're taking in grade 9 in high school, and maybe one of those classes there was something you didn't realize. Maybe there was a mistake on your timetable. Maybe there was something that you didn't quite understand. Maybe you don't know how to read your timetable or how to get to your class. They can help you with that. And then, another big thing is that they're going to help you get to graduation. Their job is to track you by monitoring your progress all the way to graduation and reminding you of things that maybe you need to get to graduation. And also, like I said, supporting you with your post-secondary pathway. Remember, we use the word pathway to describe where you're going to, the path you're walking on throughout high school into what you want to do after high school. So maybe you are looking at doing an apprenticeship. Maybe you're thinking of applying to a college program after high school. Maybe you're thinking of a university program after high school. Maybe you're thinking of kickstarting your career because you've got a business idea that you want to get off the ground right away. So their job is also to support you with planning for post-secondary. Post-secondary meaning your your work or your education that happens after secondary school, after high school. So post-secondary. Another big thing that guidance supports you with, that your guidance teachers will support you with in your high school, is social emotional support. And that's just a complicated way of saying helping students when they get stuck somewhere along the lines. Maybe that means you're stuck with something with your academics. So maybe something with classes. Maybe you're unsure about a class you're taking. Maybe you've fallen behind with your work. Maybe you are trying to think of ways to uh, maybe get better at something that you are struggling with, and you're not sure how to ask your teacher for help. Your guidance teacher is there to help you figure out what's going on or to support you in figuring out what's going on, what you need, and how to get unstuck from that. Sometimes that could be getting stuck with something that has nothing to do with school, but maybe it's something that's impacting you at school. For example, maybe you're stuck because you just had a big fight with some friends over your lunch hour, a big argument, and you are not sure how to proceed, what to do next. So your guidance teacher is there to help you get unstuck from what's stopping you in that moment if you don't know who to turn to. Your guidance teacher is also there to support your emotional needs of students on a daily basis. Now, they're not a psychologist, they're teachers, but they're there to support you if you are struggling with something. Maybe you're not sure how to maybe you're not sure what it is that's stressing you out in the moment. Maybe you're not sure what it is that is causing you to feel overwhelmed. They're there just to give you a space to figure out what's going on, and then they're there to provide you the support that you might need if you are if you're feeling stuck. Guidance teachers also support uh, the running of workshops in your school. So schools do a lot of wellness workshops in schools. These are sometimes small groups that students will attend. Maybe they're large assemblies, maybe they're presentations by guest speakers in a classroom, and they can have to do with a variety of topics such as social skills, wellness, mental health, anger management, etc. So your guidance teachers aren't the ones running these workshops, but they're the ones maybe looking to set them up and bringing in some professional person from the community who is there to talk to you a little bit about these things. Another thing that your guidance teachers in your high school are there for is to help connect you with resources in your community. So the school is a big community. You've got your teachers, other students, you've got coaches, volunteers, but you also live in the community around your school. And there are lots of supports in your community for many, many different things. Maybe it's support to help you with something for volunteering. Maybe it's a support for something because you are new to Canada and you're looking for ways to get connected to other people from the country where you arrived. Maybe you're looking to get connected for something such as financial need. Maybe you're looking for health and medical connections. So your guidance teacher is there to support you and your families to be pointed in the right direction where you can go and locate some of these resources. Your guidance teacher is not that resource necessarily, but they're there to guide you to where you can go to get that information about that resource. They're also there to help support getting you connected with maybe an agency or someone in the community who can support you with a particular learning need along the way. So you have students maybe who are coming in and saying, "Hey, I'm struggling with this pretty regularly. My teacher's been doing a lot on everything that they could. I've been working with the learning support teacher at the school, but now I'm thinking maybe I need whatever it is." So your guidance teacher or the learning support teacher or the student success teacher at your school can work together to help maybe give you some suggestions to you and your parent or guardian about where you can go get some next step help in the community. So that in a very short description is what the guidance teacher will do in your high school. There are a lot of adults in your school. They all do slightly different things. They all have different titles. There's a lot of students in your school. But bottom line is your guidance teacher and all the other teachers in your school are there to support you. You can ask any one of them what your question is. And if they're not the expert in that area, they'll direct you to who you can speak to or who you can go to if you want more information. I hope you have a great start to high school next year. I hope you are enjoying school right now. And remember, school is just not about academics. Big part about school is getting used to a new routine, new friends, new clubs, new athletics, new opportunities like that. So have a great rest of your year and connect with your guidance people if you have any other questions. Thank you. So this presentation will restart at 7:40. Thank you for joining us tonight. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ramsey Shuck. I am a guidance teacher with the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board. I am here this evening to talk a little bit about the role of guidance teachers and the Student Services Office in our high schools and what you can expect. As I'm speaking, I see quite a few participants popping in, so I'm going to give it a few more moments before starting. Just as a gentle reminder, first off, thank you very much for taking the time to attend our event this evening. Second, these sessions are running back to back consecutively. This is the second of 4 consecutive sessions. So if you are not able to attend this session will go until 7:55. There'll be a 5-minute break, and then this will restart at 8 o'clock. For a complete list of all the sessions, you can look at the All About High School homepage under the Agenda top tab, and it will tell you all of the sessions we are offering, and you can decide which sessions interest you, which ones you'd like to attend. And again, my name is Ramsey Shuck. I am a guidance teacher with the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit tonight about what the guidance teacher role is in high school and how the guidance teachers and student services office in our high schools can support you and your students. So if you have any questions, you can use the Q&A feature built into Zoom to submit your question, and then I will do my best to answer them at the end of our 15 minutes. Okay, so without further ado, we'll get going. So prior to working at the school board office, I used to be the head of guidance and student services at one of the high schools in our school board. It is a privilege to get to work with young or youth or students in our buildings. And guidance teachers do their best to support students in any way they need help with. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the ways that guidance teachers help students and how they also support and help parents and guardians. So first off, what is a student services office and who are the adults that students and parents and guardians can find in the school student services office? Well, in there, you're going to find guidance teachers. You are also going to find cooperative education teachers who teach co-op, a specialized program in high schools. You're going to find student success teachers, and they support students by providing extra academic support outside of the students' classes. You're going to find learning support teachers. Learning support teachers provide extra special education support in addition to what is already provided by teachers in the classrooms. You're going to find multicultural liaison officers in a student services office. These are the talented members of the community who speak many different languages and can be a bridge to support students and parents and guardians where maybe their first language is not English or French, and they would benefit from having someone there to translate for them so that they can have full meetings and interactions with school staff. You're also going to find learning support services staff in the student services office. These are the professionals who work for the OCDSB, who are the psychologists, the social workers, and the youth workers. And each school is supported by these positions, and these are for exceptional situations where we need to provide specific support to youth for a variety of reasons. So all of these adults you are going to find in your high school student services office. Regardless of what their title is, as long as you see someone in there, they're going to greet you with a smile and they're going to say, "How can I help you?" And you can ask your question to anyone, and if they don't know the answer, they'll direct you to who you need to speak to. So what does the guidance teacher do specifically? So remember that your guidance teacher is a teacher in your school, and but they teach you in a slightly different way. They're there to help you pick your classes and to support you in planning for your pathway. And what do I mean by pathway in high school? I mean the path that you are walking on or that you're going down, and they are there to support you along your path to do what you need to take the courses that you might want to take, to have the experiences you might want to have, and to support you as you go down your pathway, not only to graduate in high school, but to go on to things after high school. We call that post-secondary education. Your secondary school, and your post-secondary is what happens after secondary school, after high school. So guidance teachers support students, but they also support parents and guardians. So if they're like my parents and guardians who didn't grow up in Canada, they're there to support parents and guardians by answering questions about what are the graduation requirements in high school in Ontario? What are the opportunities for students? How can I help my students? When are report cards released in this school? Who do I reach out to for help? So all of these things are ways that guidance teachers can support students and their parents and guardians. Guidance teachers also support students by helping them to make their school timetable. So this is the schedule that you follow in your school day that shows you which classes you're going to at what particular times of the day. And in high school, in grade 9, most of the courses that or classes you're going to take are courses or classes you must take, but you will have some choices. So your guidance teacher will be there to support you with planning out what classes you would like to take. Maybe if there is a problem on your timetable that you want to fix, maybe you don't know how to read your timetable and you don't know how to get to your class. They're there to help you with everything with your timetable, everything with your school schedule, to know where to go, what class you're taking. They'll also give you all the advice along the way in high school about what classes might interest you, what classes you might want or need to take based on what you want to pursue in school and outside of school after you graduate. And they're also there to support you with post-secondary pathways. So that is everything such as maybe carrying on into an apprenticeship. That means focusing on becoming a skilled tradesperson in a particular career. Maybe you're interested in applying to a college diploma program. Maybe you're interested in applying to a university degree program. Or maybe you're interested in kickstarting your career because you're the next Bill Gates and you've come up with a really fantastic idea and you're going straight to the top right after school. So your guidance teacher is there to support you regardless of what your path is, and every student's path is individual. So go see your guidance teacher, ask your questions. Your guidance teacher is not there to make the decision for you. They're not there to say what you cannot do, and they're not there to say, you should do this after high school. They're there to say, what are you thinking about? What are your interests? And then to make recommendations for you so that you and your parents and guardians can make the best decision possible. They're there to support you in your decision making. Guidance teachers are also there to help you with social emotional support. What do I mean by that? In a nutshell, they're there to support students when they get stuck. That could be for many, many different reasons. You could get stuck because you don't know where to go in your school. You could get stuck because you don't know where to get some information. You could get stuck because maybe you're struggling in a class you're taking and you don't even know why you're struggling and you don't even know how to ask for what it is you need. Maybe you know what you need, but you just don't know who to speak to about that. Perhaps also you're stuck because, let's say something that has happened that has nothing to do with your classes has happened and it's impacting how you're feeling at school. So maybe you had a fight with a family member. Maybe you had a fight with a friend, and it's really causing you to have difficulty focusing on something. Or maybe you've got a big presentation and you're stuck because you just had a big fight and you don't know what to do. So guidance teachers are there to respond and to support you depending on what's going on and to help you get unstuck when you are stuck. They're also there to support emergencies that might happen, right? Maybe something unexpected has happened at school. Maybe something unexpected has happened at home, and that is impacting you at school. So they are there to help as another adult in the building who can help support you with what's going on. Because life can be unexpected and it can be messy sometimes. Guidance teachers are also there to not only respond to problems that arise, they're also there to provide proactive supports. So sometimes they will facilitate at your school presentations. Maybe it's going to be a presenter in your auditorium. Maybe it's going to be small groups around things like wellness. So, for example, maybe a workshop on social emotional skills or social skills. Maybe it's a workshop or a presentation on mental health and wellness. Maybe it's a presentation on struggling with things such as anger management or not knowing who to turn to. So your guidance team will have sessions like this or run sessions like this regularly at your school. They're not necessarily the ones delivering it. They're not necessarily the expert in these things, but they are there to provide the space for experts in the community to come and have those presentations in your school. Another thing, speaking of community, is your guidance teams are there as community connectors. So they are there to help support you and your parents slash guardians, families, students, connect with agencies in your community for support for things that you and maybe your family need that are not directly related to school, but might have a big positive impact on you if you are connected to these. So maybe, for example, you are new to the community that you're living in. Maybe you've just moved from a different province or a different country, and you are unsure how to navigate something in your area. Your guidance teachers at the school can help maybe suggest some agencies to get connected with. Maybe you have questions about maybe a particular job that you're thinking about getting, and you're not sure how to find a summer job. Your guidance teacher will regularly push out information about summer job opportunities. Maybe you're thinking about how do I get my 40 volunteer hours while I'm in high school? Your guidance team will share information with students in the school about volunteering opportunities. Maybe you're even thinking, you know what, I think I'd like to go talk to a professional about a learning challenge that I'm having, and I'm not sure who to reach out to. Your guidance team is a place, or your guidance student services office is a place where you can go and have a quiet, confidential, sorry, not confidential, a private conversation about maybe an agency that might be able to support you outside of school. So your guidance teacher is not the person supporting you with those things, but they're guiding you to the place where you can get access to those in the community. Your guidance teacher is there basically to answer any question that you might have. So no question is a silly question. Ask anyone, and there's probably nothing you can ask them that they haven't heard of already. Thank you very much for attending this info session this evening. And thank you for giving up your time to join. If you have any questions, there should be a Q&A button somewhere in Zoom that you can click and type in your question. I'd be happy to answer it. The session is going to wrap up in 2 minutes, or a minute and a half, I should say, and then it will restart at 8 p.m. If you want to go to another session, or maybe you joined late and you want to watch the beginning of this one, if there's any questions, you can pop them into the Q&A. If not, then thank you very much for attending tonight. We're going to have a 5-minute break, and you can either stay in this session that will start at 8 o'clock, or you can join another session. Thank you again for joining. Have a great night, and wherever you end up going to high school in September, have a fantastic experience at your new school. Take care. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ramsey Shuck. I'm a guidance teacher with the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board. My pronouns are he, him. Thank you for joining the role of guidance and student services in high school's presentation that will be starting at 8 o'clock. I'm going to give it a few moments to allow any new guests to arrive to log in. I see the participants' numbers going up. So I'll give it a few more moments for everyone to join, and then we'll get going. Thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedules to attend this event. We really appreciate you being here. And if you have any questions during this presentation, there is a Q&A feature built in where you can type in your question, and I will do my best to answer those questions at the end of the presentation. This presentation will be 15 minutes, and it's the same presentation that has happened in the first two sessions. And I will repeat this presentation a final time at 8:20 for the last session. Again, I'll give it a few more moments. I see the participants' numbers going up, and then we'll get going. Okay. Okay, thanks again for joining. My name is Ramsey Shuck. I am a guidance teacher with the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board. Prior to working at the school board office, I used to be the head of guidance and student services at one of the high schools in our school board. And I will say that it has been my absolute pleasure supporting students and parents and guardians in my last school's student services office. It is a very important role, and this is why this evening I wanted to share a little bit with you about how your students and you as parents and guardians can find support from not only your guidance teacher, but some other teachers who work in your school's student services office. So a high school can be a big place. There can be up to 1,600 students in one building. And so because there is so much going on in a high school, it's good to know who you can reach out to when you have questions or you are not sure who to ask for help. So who can you find in your school's student services office? There's a bunch of different teachers who you'll usually find in there. You're going to find for sure your school's guidance teachers. So guidance teachers are teachers, just like every other educator in your building. You're going to find sometimes cooperative education teachers. These are the teachers who teach co-op to students, which is a specialized program connected to workplace. You're going to find student success teachers who provide extra support on top of the academic support already provided by classroom teachers. You're going to find learning support teachers who are the special education specialists who can provide extra special education support in addition to what your classroom teacher already provides. You're also going to find some very talented individuals called multicultural liaison officers, and they provide sometimes translation support where there's a family or a student where perhaps they would benefit from a translator to help be at meetings at the school. You're also going to find learning support services staff. So these are staff who work for the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board, psychologists who may be reviewing psychoeducational assessments. You're going to find social workers who are maybe supporting certain social, cultural events that are happening with students and parents and guardians outside of school. And you're going to find youth workers who are there to support students with certain particular higher needs in our building. So these are many different people with many different titles. The bottom line is, when you go into your school's student services office, these are just adults who are there to support you. So you're going to get greeted with a smile. They're going to say, "Hi, welcome, how can I help you?" And any one of them can help you. And if they don't know the answer, then they can direct you to who you can speak to. They can direct you to where you can get the information. Let's see here. Let's see. Slides are being shown. Oh, apologies, folks. Give me 1 second. Okay, apologies, folks. I think I had the wrong screen up in on there before. Um, let's see here. Okay, so now they're back in. Okay, apologies. Thank you very much to our tech support people for flagging this. All right. And thank you very much, folks. You put that in the Q&A. You're seeing my Google Mail page. Okay. All right, slides are back up. Apologies for that. These are all the adults who you're going to be able to find in your school student services office. So how does a guidance teacher help you in your school? The guidance teacher's main role is to help you picking your classes and pursuing your pathway. So pathway, that is the direction you're going and the places you want to end up during the course of you being in school and maybe after school as well. We call that your pathway in school. So you're going to hear the word pathway a lot. It just means the direction you see yourself going, the goals you have, and how you want to get to those goals. So guidance teachers will help you by supporting students and their parents and guardians. Because even if you're a student in the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board, there's a lot of new stuff that happens in high school. For example, new graduation requirements. What are these 40 volunteer hours I need to do? What do you mean I have to take this class that I know nothing about, but that I'm being told I need to take? So guidance teachers are there to provide supports to students all throughout high school. But they're also there to support parents and guardians. So if you were like my parents and guardians who did not grow up in Canada and who did not go through the schooling system here, guidance teachers are there to also inform and hopefully empower parents and guardians with all of the information they need to know to best support their student while they're students in high school, so that you can make the best possible informed decisions for your student while they're in high school. Guidance teachers' role is also to help your student build their timetable. So timetable will be the piece of paper that shows all the classes that you're taking that school year. Sometimes in grade 9, most of the classes you'll be taking are chosen for you, so you must take them. They're called compulsory courses. And maybe you only get to choose one or maybe two as optional courses where you get choice. But the higher up you get in high school grades, you're going to have way more choice and way fewer courses that you must take. So guidance teachers are there to help you build your timetable and to support you in choosing courses that either interest you or that are courses that you need or want to take because you need them for what happens next as a next step. Guidance teachers are also there to support you with planning for post-secondary. Post-secondary means what happens after high school. So perhaps that is something, maybe you're on a post-secondary pathway that is leading you to an apprenticeship. So a skilled trade after high school. How do you get there? What do you need? What do you need to sign up for? Perhaps you're on a post-secondary pathway that's going to lead you to college. Maybe you want to apply to a degree or diploma program at a college. Perhaps you are thinking your next step is going to be applying for a degree program at a university. And so you want to make sure you have everything you need for required grade 12 courses to go on to this program. Or perhaps you are interested in kickstarting your career because you have a great idea, you want to launch into the world of work and to launch your career right after high school. Your guidance teacher is there to support you with all the things you will need to know in order to do that successfully. So your guidance teacher is there to support you with picking your classes and helping you map out not only getting to graduation at high school, but planning your pathway to lead you to what you want to do after high school. Another big thing that guidance teachers will do in schools and that we did often is supporting students with social emotional support. So this is the stuff that happens where I describe it as supporting students when they get stuck. So I'm at school, I'm a student at school, something's happened, it's causing me stress. I don't know what it is exactly. I'm feeling stuck and I need support getting unstuck. This could be something that is school related. Maybe it's that you have fallen behind in class. You've got a big presentation due that day and you haven't done anything, or you're missing something and you're stressing out and it's causing you to feel a bit of stress. Perhaps it has nothing to do with school. So we all know that everyone's life can be unpredictable and complicated. So perhaps there has been a major life event that has happened with you or your family, and it's really having an impact on you at school. And you don't know who to turn to, what to do next. You're feeling stuck. So guidance teachers are there, in addition to all the other teachers in the school, to respond to these needs and to help you, to support you in the way that they can. So guidance teachers are not always going to be able to make it snap their fingers and make it go away, but they're going to provide sometimes a private space for you to share what's going on and to maybe recommend some ways to help you get unstuck as best that they can. Guidance teachers also do a bunch of other things in the school, things that you might not learn about until you get maybe older, in the older grades like grade 11 or grade 12. But they do things such as helping you, tracking you to get to graduation. So maybe do you have everything you need to get to graduation? Have you taken all the classes you need? Have you done all your volunteer hours? Have you passed the literacy test? All of those check boxes that you need to check off in order to graduate. They also will help and coach various sports teams around the school or volunteer at clubs. So you're going to get to know guidance teachers in different ways, but they also facilitate school events for students, such as assemblies, small groups, workshops at your school that might have to do with things such as wellness, mental health, social skills. Um, these are all additional things that guidance teachers might help with. They're not necessarily the ones running those workshops, but they're the ones who are looking to bring in the professionals from outside of school to run those workshops themselves. And speaking of outside of school, your guidance teacher is there as a community connector. So your guidance teacher is there to support you as a student, but also your family with maybe getting connected to outside agencies for support. For various things that you might not realize. Maybe you're a newcomer to Ottawa, maybe you're a newcomer to Ontario, maybe you're a newcomer to Canada, and you need, or you're looking for support with looking for a summer job. Maybe you're looking for support with a place where you can complete your volunteer hours. Maybe you're looking for a particular medical professional support because you're looking for special education accommodations. So guidance teachers are there to help get you connected with outside agencies, outside professional organizations, so that you and your parents and guardians can access things that you are looking for. So guidance teachers are not psychologists, they're not bankers, they're not employment agents, but they can guide you to the places where you can find that information so that you can get connected with those professionals yourself. So those are some of the key things that guidance staff will do in your school to support you as students, but also to support your parents and guardians. So I'm getting to the end. It's 8:13, so we have a minute and a half left. Thank you very much for taking the time to attend this session. If you have any questions that you'd like to put into the question and answer, I'd be happy to answer them in the next few minutes before the break. And if you missed the opening, you're welcome to stay. This session will restart at 8:20. And if you have any specific questions about guidance at your high school next year, reach out to your grade 8 teacher. Your grade 8 teacher can find out the information and let you know. So thank you so much for attending. Again, if you have any questions, pop them into the Q&A. I'd be happy to answer them. Right, so No questions. Okay, well, thank you very much for attending. It's 8:15, and I hope you have a great rest of the evening, and thank you again for joining us. Take care. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ramsey Shuck. I am a teacher with the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board. I'm a guidance teacher at one of our high schools. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be running the role of guidance and student services in high schools information session starting in just a moment. If you are just joining us, there is a Q&A feature in this platform where you can type in your questions. And I will do my best to answer your questions by the end of this session. So this session is going to start now at 8:20 and be 15 minutes until 8:35, with 5 minutes or so at the end where I can answer some questions. I see that the participants number is going up, so I'm going to give it a few more moments before getting going. Thank you again for taking the time to be here tonight. I know everyone is very busy. So thanks for being here. Going to give it a few more moments before getting going. Okay. I think the participants have leveled off a little bit, so we'll get going. Again, thank you for joining us. My name is Ramsey Shuck. I am a guidance teacher with the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board, and I'm here to talk a little bit about who are guidance teachers in high schools and what is the Student Services Office, and how do they help students and how can they help parents and guardians. So let's get going. So who can you find in schools and high schools student services office in a high school? So a high school can be a very big place. There can be up to 1,600 students in one of our high schools. There's different offices. There's an athletics office. There's a main office. There's a student services office. So who is in the student services office? You're going to find guidance teachers there. Remember, guidance teachers are teachers at your school. You're going to find cooperative education teachers sometimes. They are the ones who run the specialized co-op program in high schools. You're going to find student success teachers, and they are teachers who provide extra academic support on top of what classroom teachers already provide. You're going to find learning support teachers. They are the special education specialists, and they provide special education support on top of the special education support provided by classroom teachers. You're also going to find multicultural liaison officers. These are the talented folks in the community who support families, they support students, they support teachers by maybe providing translation services. If a parent wants to attend a school for a meeting, but where French or English may not be their first language, and a multicultural liaison officer can be there to help bridge that gap by providing translation services. You'll also find learning support services staff. So the OCDSB has psychologists, social workers, youth worker, who work in supporting our schools. Psychologists can do a variety of different things. And the psychologist, social worker, and the youth worker provide our highest tier of intervention and highest tier of support for the smallest percentage of highest needs situations in schools. All of this to say, regardless of their title, regardless of what their name is on their name tag, when you go to your student services office in your high school, you're going to be greeted with a smile, and they're going to say, "Hi there, my name is so-and-so. Welcome to the guidance office. How can I help you?" And they will help you. And if they don't know the answer, they can direct you to who does know the answer. So a bunch of people, who's who in the zoo in your guidance office. So roles and responsibilities of guidance teachers. What do they do and how do they support you? Well, the main way that guidance teachers support the majority of students is by helping them with picking their classes, making their timetable at their school, and helping them to pursue their school pathway. You're going to hear that word a lot in high school, pathway. What that means is a way for us to describe the path that you are on in high school, leading you through high school to graduation and whatever you wish to do after graduating high school. So your path in your schooling, your path in your education. So they're there to help you with your pathway planning. So guidance teachers will support students and their parents and guardians because high school can be a very big place. It can be very different from the school you're coming from. So you might be a student in grade 8 at one of our OCDSB high school, elementary schools, and you might come in and there might be a lot of new things. So guidance teachers are there to support you by answering all kinds of questions you might have because things are different in high school maybe than in elementary school. Maybe you're unsure about what classes you have to take. Maybe you're unsure about what this volunteer requirement is for volunteering for 40 hours to earn your graduation diploma. But guidance teachers are also there to support parents and guardians, because if your parents and guardians are like my parents and guardians and did not grow up in Canada and did not go through the Canadian school system, guidance teachers are there to inform, to provide information to parents and guardians, to guide them to information they might need so that they're fully aware of all of the information in our province and in our school board so that families can make the most informed decision possible for their student. Guidance teachers are not there to make the decision for the student or parent and guardian. They're not there to tell you what you can't do. They are there to help inform you so that you can make the best decision possible for how you want to proceed with things. Guidance teachers are also there to help with building your timetable at school. Your timetable is that sheet of paper that shows what classes you're taking, where they're located, what time they're at, who your teacher is, what room they're in. In grade 9, if you're starting in grade 9, most of the classes that you'll have to take are classes that you have to take. They're compulsory. You don't have much choice. You might have choice in 1 or 2, and you're going to find that the higher up in the grades you get in high school, you're going to have fewer courses that you have to take and more options for courses that you want to take where you have choice. So that's where your guidance teacher, you might get to know a little more in your higher grades, like grade 11 and grade 12, when you are going to have way more choice than you might be used to, and where you may be looking for some suggestions or advice, guidance on what to do. And your guidance teacher is there to help give you all of the options to help share with you the places to go look for requirements for things you want to do after high school, during high school, opportunities you might want to be eligible for, so that you can decide what subjects you may want to take, what subjects you may need, and then to make your plan for your path. Guidance teachers are also there with supporting post-secondary pathways. So post-secondary means what happens after high school. So to support your path after high school. Because maybe your path is going to lead you to wanting to be certified, a Red Seal certified skilled tradesperson. So maybe you want to pursue an apprenticeship after high school. So knowing what opportunities you might need to take advantage of in order to get the required hours to get your Red Seal certification. Perhaps your pathway is going to lead you to a degree or a diploma program at a college. And so maybe you might want to know what prerequisites or what requirements that you need to check off in high school to be eligible to apply to those programs. Perhaps your post-secondary pathway means that you want to go straight to a university degree program. So making sure that you have the required 6 grade 12 university level courses needed for that program. Or maybe you are looking to kickstart your career and maybe you want some advice on what you might need. Do you know how to apply for your SIN number? Do you have your resume in place? Do you know who to contact for investment opportunity if you're looking to start a new app for something? So your guidance teacher is there to help you and your parents and guardians make the most informed decision possible by sharing all the information with you or guiding you to the information so that you can make the best decision possible, answering questions you might have, and then supporting you in your decisions for how you want to proceed with things. That's what their role is. They're not going to make the decision for you. So sometimes students would say, what do you think I should do? What classes do you think I should take? I'm not sure what I want to do. We can always offer you some suggestions, but I always tell students, I can't tell you what you should study after high school. I can't tell you what career you should invest in. That's something you have to decide, but I will be there to support you in answering questions that you might have. Another thing that we do in the guidance office is supporting students with social emotional support. What that means is supporting students when they get stuck for a variety of reasons. So we all know that life is complicated, things happen, and we are there to help to support you in how you respond to those things. So perhaps there is something that happens that's school related. For example, perhaps you have a big test or a big project due on a day. Something happened, you've fallen behind, you've been sick, you're not sure how to proceed, you're nervous about asking your teacher, you don't know who to turn to, and you're feeling stuck. Well, go to your student services office, speak to your guidance teacher. Your guidance teacher can provide a private space for you to share what's going on and then offer some suggestions or ways for you to get unstuck. Perhaps something has happened that has nothing to do with school because life can be very unpredictable. Perhaps there's been an unfortunate or unexpected tragic event in your life outside of school that would have a direct impact on you at school. These are some of the examples and ways that guidance teachers support students, because sometimes something tragic will happen in a family, for example, where we need to take a pause from school for a few days and to regroup and figure out how we're going to respond to things before being able to continue with school. So guidance supports students and families within a variety of ways. Guidance also supports in all kinds of ways that you might not realize in a school. So your guidance teacher, it might be your coach for basketball. They might be the staff supervisor for a club you want to run. You might see them supervising a school dance. You're going to see them doing a bunch of things around the school that you might notice the more involved you get around your school. Some of the things that they will do is they will help deliver assemblies at your school or facilitate workshops or groups at your school that have to do with things such as wellness or mental health. Your guidance teachers are not the experts in these things, but they are going to work to get the experts from the community to come in to talk to you about these subjects or to provide a space for you to learn, ask questions, and to explore some of the things that are going on in your life. Speaking of community connections, another way that guidance teachers support students and families is to help you to get connected to things in the community that you might want or that you might need. For example, let's say that students are looking for ways to fulfill their 40 hours of volunteer activities that they need to graduate. Guidance teachers are going to regularly share opportunities for students to volunteer in the community. Perhaps you're looking to apply for a scholarship in the community. Guidance teachers and the Student Services Office is going to share information with how you can find that information out. Guidance teachers are also going to support you when you are ready to launch out of high school into post-secondary. So that's whatever you do after high school. So maybe they're going to have representatives from apprenticeship programs. Maybe they're going to have representatives from university or college. Maybe they're going to have representatives from summer employment organizations in Ottawa come into your high school. And they will be able to support you with what you want to do after high school. Perhaps you are new to Ottawa or new to Ontario or new to Canada, and you are looking to get connected with a community organization to help with your transition. So there's a variety of reasons or a variety of ways that guidance will help to get you as a student or to help your family get connected to something in the community that you might be looking for. So your guidance teacher is not the expert in these things, but they are kind of like your advocate and they are your person who's going to help you to nudge you to the right direction for where you can look for these things. So those are some ways that they will help. That being said, it's almost 8:35, so we're almost at the end of our session. If you have any questions that you would like to pop into the Q&A, feel free to pop those in right now, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. If you don't have any questions, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And if you're a student right now in grade 8, enjoy your last few months in grade 8. It's going to go by quickly, and I hope you have a fantastic time starting high school in September. If you have any questions about your continuation in school into high school, ask your grade 8 teacher, and they can be the ones to find the information for you. Your grade 8 teacher is the main person to help you transition into grade 9 next year. And if you have any questions, if you know the high school you're going to, reach out to the high school. They're happy to help. Thank you again for joining, and I'm going to wait and see if there's any questions in the Q&A. Okay, I'm not seeing any. Oh, there's a question here. What's the question? Do students have an assigned guidance counselor? Yes, so many schools will be organized. Let's say there are 1,600 students in a school. A school might organize their guidance teachers in a way where it's by student surnames. For example, maybe students with surnames A to F will be assigned to me, for example. Maybe they're assigned to someone else. They do it that way because it's easier. We always recommend that students connect with the guidance teacher that they are assigned. But if for whatever reason there's a particular reason or particular need, for example, the student is more comfortable with, let's say, a female guidance teacher, your student can absolutely be assigned to another one. So it's not set in stone. The only request that schools will say is pick one person and stick with that person. Don't go to many different people, because that's how things fall through the cracks, and that's how problems sometimes happen. Another question is, with the housing crisis, will guidance start collecting info about living expenses in college and university towns and cities? With the housing crisis, will guidance start collecting info about living expenses in college and university towns and cities? That goes a little bit beyond what teachers will do in high schools. If you're thinking, Marta, about what the cost of living is in particular areas, that goes a little bit beyond what guidance teachers will do in a high school. Are there any other questions that anyone would like to ask? Just give it a few more minutes. Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone, for attending this evening. Have a great evening and take care.